would be our first memories. We lived in Washington.
Yes.
Is there room for me? For a young man?
For a young
You're the
man.
young man. You're the youngest of the group. That makes you feel good.
Oh, wait a minute. My finger.
We are here on the Masterman Cousins Camp cruise, the first one ever. This is November 10th, 2023. I'm Rex. I was born in 1941. This is
Barbara, and I was born in 1941. What was you born in?
43.
Oh,
He said,
I was born in 43.
yeah, 41.
See, we're
and I'm Janice, and I was born in 39, which obviously makes me the oldest in this group. It should
Maybe not the smartest, but the oldest.
not the smartest, and the one who probably should remember the most and doesn't remember any of these things.
I want to correct something, though. This is not our first ever Cousins cruise, because we went to the Panama Canal.
Oh, we did go to the Panama
And we
Canal.
can't remember what year it was.
No. We'll add
Oh,
that
we took
later.
Grandma Masterman with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was our.
With
probably our-
10-day cruise. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Barbara and I were just saying, we remember when they lived outside of Walkerton, right on the curb behind the Bel Air Motel. You used to go down a road.
That's Walkerton, Indiana, by the way.
Walkerton, Indiana. We were all based, well, we were all raised in Indiana, obviously. But we remember going mushroom hunting at that time.
In the woods.
In the woods. Now, Barb probably was
Were you
6.
growing wild mushrooms or what?
Yeah.
Barb was 6 and I was probably 8.
When we
Rex,
moved
you were
from there.
probably just a toddler.
I was in diapers probably.
Yeah. Well, I remember my mother and Dad telling tales about, I don't remember this, but one of Dad's sister's husband worked for the railroad company, and when the railroad came by, because the railroad track was right by our house, and when the railroad would go by, he would throw coal off, so they had coal to heat with.
That's poverty.
That is. That is.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Absolutely. Well, we lived close to a railroad track and you can walk.
You didn't have. Your
Mom, Rex was telling about, when the bums would come around.
Oh,
Mom
yeah.
would give her meals and
Grandma
stuff.
Masterman would feed
I
the
don't-
bums, yeah.
I don't remember that. Obviously, that particular thing.
I remember probably the most of her parents was Elmer and Toots, and ours was Harry and Violet Masterman.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in Walkerton, and almost every Saturday or Sunday, y'all would come down and show up around dinner time for something.
Of course, because we were poor.
and Grandma would go out in the freezer and fix something and have a great time. And then after that, we'd pop popcorn.
Pop popcorn
And
and
Make
peanut butter
peanut
butter
fudge.
fudge.
And the kids always wanted it to fail because we could eat it with
Eat it
a
with
spoon.
And we always had popcorn, and for years and years, I only ate popcorn drinking milk because we had milk. We didn't have anything. We didn't have soda or anything like that. And
Really? I guess I don't remember that.
and I was
Well, I remember having a drink for that popcorn.
well, we had milk.
Well, we had cows, so maybe we did have milk.
Yeah, I'm sure we would have.
You have cows?
I don't think so. No.
Maybe we. See, I always just.
So we
remember
drank milk
grape
at your
juice.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grape juice.
Well,
I remember
that's with
grape
my
juice.
grandparents. We always had grape juice. They had a grape harvest.
But every weekend, we'd play card games, and that's probably why we still love card games today.
Yeah.
We seem to play a lot of card games.
We played. Our parents
All
played
played
games.
cards, right.
I mean, and mostly cards. But I mean,
No TV, no phones, no TV.
well, we didn't have a television until I was in junior high. I
was
think.
going to say, I think it was like 1951, was it when we got our first TV?
First TV.
But the amazing thing was we vacationed together, always. And of course, it was always a fishing vacation.
Yes.
Mainly in Wisconsin.
And
I'm
old
not sure.
army tents.
Yeah, I mean, it
And
was
Who owned
not.
that?
They stunk. Who got
It
them?
definitely
They
wasn't plush
smelled.
I don't know who.
vacations.
I don't know who had that army tent. Whether
I
it's your
think-
dad or,
I
or,
think
your,
Dad- I
or
think
my dad.
I remember Dad having it, and because it was so big and heavy.
It was. We all slept in the same tent.
But I remember the one time when we slept in an abandoned schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse.
And we looked like a bunch of gypsies.
Well, they called us
They
gypsies when we had the tent at the campground or at the lake. some car drove by and called us gypsies.
But that's when Nancy got a tick in there, and I remember at night they were using a match to the back of her, and it already had a big blood spot on it.
Oh.
It was scary. I'm not sure I slept that night.
Maybe that's why she has so many problems.
All because of that tick.
Tick, yeah.
Thinking back, do you think Dad was in the CBs? Do you think that had anything to do?
No. He was in that what Roosevelt camp deal.
Well, it was called the CBs.
Oh, was that what it was? No.
Yeah, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, he's the one that they helped build Clifton Falls State Park.
Right. He was down stationed in southern Indiana. Down there, you know. I thought maybe.
Built the cabins and built
Right.
the trails.
And I think, yeah.
Is that what they call the CBs?
Yeah. That's what I remember it being.
But I remember Dad and Elmer going fishing almost
Oh my God,
all the time. But that's what we ate. It wasn't that they were fishing for fun.
And they
They're fishing
fishing
for
They
for the
fishing
food.
for food,
Fishing
not
for
like
food.
you do. You fish for
I fish
fun.
for fun.
To this day, I can't imagine why somebody fishes and then throws them back. You know, I mean, why
It's a
not?
sport.
Why not eat it? We always ate them. You know.
He doesn't want to clean it.
He doesn't want- yeah,
That's probably true.
probably one
That's
of
probably
But they never filleted him. They cleaned him, and we picked the bones out.
Yeah.
And the bones got
Well, you
caught
got more meat.
occasionally.
Yeah, your dad had a bone caught in his throat. I remember my dad telling about it, but
Yeah, we
you
never
know,
quite understood how that tongue came out.
yeah, I don't know.
I remember sitting around, and one of the biggest things, listening to Uncle Elmer and Grandpa Masterman and tell about going deer hunting. And I was too young, but they'd tell the stories and more stories. And it was so much fun. So the first time I got to go with your dad and Grandpa Masterman, and we went to southern Indiana. They called it Doe Ridge. And they took me out and put me in the woods and said, you stay here. And because when sunrise comes up, you know, there's going to be some shooting. And deer start running, and that's your chance to get it. Well, at sunrise came up, and there was so much shooting, I just dug myself down in this hole because bullets were going all around my head. I thought anyway, and I didn't get a deer obviously that year. But,
Did you ever come up?
But it was I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I know that-
but it was all about the hunt, you know. So.
I
But,
can remember when they
good-
came down to
good times.
Indiana when we were in college at IU
Well, that's where it was. That was
Yeah,
down
they-
that area.
right.
Close to Doe Ridge, yeah.
went
Yeah.
out in that area.
They
I can remember when your mom and dad came out to, when we lived in Albuquerque, they came out and stayed with us a couple of nights, and we had one of those beds that
Murphy bed or
that opened up somehow, and when they sat down on the edge of
It
the
flipped
bed,
over.
it flipped over. I do remember that.
they
happening.
really.
Did your dad get his guns taken away for shooting a deer on the road one time?
He did a lot of things.
I'm almost sure.
Yes, he did. What he did was he saw the deer and it was deer. He saw the deer and he opened the car and door and shot it and a DNR was there close by or something and I don't know. He got him back, but he got a fine.
Yeah, fine.
And he would fish with the wrong amount of poles or something. I mean, ice fish, and he had a couple poles in each one, or so. I don't know. He stretched the law a little
Stretch the law
bit.
just a little bit.
I can remember going one evening when I must have been back after, obviously I was married. Obviously when Mike, when he was married to
Oh, Bernice.
they went night, my dad and him, they went night fishing with spears
Yeah.
down in
Yeah.
Spear for
Culver.
carp.
And I can remember Mike and I sitting in the car waiting for him. I don't know why in the world we went, to be honest with you. Because I just remember us
Probably
sitting-
didn't have babysitters.
But yeah, and that would be a sport. My grandson, they go bow fishing at night.
Oh, do it?
Oh, yeah.
Carp. Yeah.
I
And they had
didn't
a
realize
big
you-
boat that had a lot of lights on and stuff.
Now, Barb's parents owned the famous Argus Motel in Argus, Indiana, which was probably about 25 miles from Walker.
Probably.
25 miles from Walker. And I remember we'd go over there, and you lived upstairs above the hotel. Yeah,
It was a big cement block building.
Big cement block building. And they would
And
they'd get a ring, and they'd have to go downstairs and at all times of the night and check people in.
Yeah, they'd
That's
be-
back in the cash stage, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have credit cards.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I
And
never-
that's when mom and pop hotels made it because Nowadays, you don't have a mom and pop
Don't have
motel.
mom
No,
pops.
no.
No.
We used to
Then your
have-
dad also had a welding shop,
Yeah.
didn't
When he first built that building, before the motel, he had a welding
he? Isn't
shop.
that where he
He got-
blew a tank up and
Yeah, he
got
was.
burns?
Yes, he had burns all over his legs. It was always scar tissue from being burned, and his face was burned too. Well, everything was burned, but they sprayed a foam on him at his face, and it never blistered or anything like that. Well, I don't know why they didn't put it on his legs, except maybe they were third-degree burns. And
Do you remember what year you expanded? Because you built a new wing out.
When-
I had
when
found a
Dad got-
postcard one time with that.
when Dad got burned, when he came home from the hospital, he stayed in the first. I think we built 5 units on, and he's because he couldn't get up the steps because he was all bandaged up and everything. And we have a picture of him in an old wheelchair, a wicker.
Record wheelchair?
Yeah, yeah, and so that was, and I think I was in junior high, so whatever that was, what year? Let's see, how was that? How old?
Probably
Well,
1955.
probably in the 50s.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would have
Could
been.
be. And then when we had the fire, he had built on all of them, and he had just finished. And then when we had the fire, we lived in the N2 units across, and that was our home.
Now,
Man,
did the building burn down? The 2-story building burn
Yeah.
down? Okay, that's right. I remember. I don't remember, but I remember I have pictures of it where your mom and Uncle Elmer and Dad, they were hunting, and your mom had the deer tail. The deer was hung in front of the motel there, and she had the deer tail across the front of her nose.
I don't remember seeing that picture.
You don't have that one? I had to get that.
Yeah.
I got that.
No, we had a lot of time, a lot of fun time. I remember every summer when I was in high school, spending some time with you guys, staying maybe a few days to a week, I don't know. And a lot of time it was around fair time, when the Walkerton
Okay.
Fair was
When
on.
the 4th of July and stuff.
Yeah,
I was gonna
because you
say-
always fixed me up with one of your buddies. What? I think it was Kenny. Was it Kenny Baker?
Yeah.
Kenny Baker.
Baker was
Oh
Ri-
boy, yeah,
Richard's-
it was Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best friend by him.
Yeah, I always.
He was
yeah,
the
yeah, you were.
Best looking guy in the class. Yeah.
Well, everybody always came to Walkerton for the 4th of July because we had the best 4th of July
Oh my golly, yeah.
of anybody in the surrounding area. Fireworks and the carnival was there. and-
Except for Studebaker. When Dad worked for Studebaker, they gave him so many tickets per kid, and we got to see the most unbelievable fireworks where cowboys were riding horses and fireworks.
Where was that at? In South Bend?
In South Bend. At,
Yeah. Was
was it-
proving grounds or something. wasn't it?
Yeah, so,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Was
that was
Well,
really.
you had more money than we did. We couldn't go there.
He could go there. Well, you didn't work for Studebaker.
Yeah,
You
that's
had to work
true.
for Studebaker, yeah.
I remember we bought one of your dad's cars off. And we got another Studebaker.
Let me ask you a question. Remember, when we lived at 711 Harrison Street, well, it was kind of an apartment, and we had a garage out back. My dad and your dad would go out in the garage, and they'd pull these weeds down from above, and they'd grow it.
Oh, for cigarettes.
You're kidding me.
Really?
You're telling that on this?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is censored.
Oh, really? Well, I just
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
He rolled
Dad
his
used to roll all his cigarettes.
but I didn't.
And I walked in one time, and Dad had these, look like horse weeds, or weeds, yeah, but they was marijuana, and they roll it up.
Really?
Did they tell you it was marijuana?
No, but I remember seeing it. And
You were a little boy.
I was a little boy, but that's when I fell off the roof out of the garage and got severed that.
Was that house on a corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Right
remember.
across
Remember we
yeah.
always played games, Red Rover, send the ball over the
Yeah.
top of the house at
That's-
night.
I remember most about going to, when we went camping and stuff, we always went to neat places. Like, we went to the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh, we did a lot of nice.
I mean,
good
we got
things.
pictures of all the cousins
Kids
out in
out
front
there.
of the
Mhm.
Lincoln Memorial. And but fun times, many fun
We
times.
had lots of fun
Yeah.
times.
And we're glad to be on this cruise and have more fun times.
That's right.
So what are we doing? We're playing cards.
Playing cards.
No,
Barbara
we
rules. Barbara's rules.
Yeah, we had a fun time last night.
That was a great time last night.
No, we've had some good times.
We're about the end of our cruise. This is the last day of our cruise. We get to port back in
Tomorrow morning.
tomorrow morning.
So we'll wait till we go on another one
So
together.
can we go on another one and we'll remember more stories or lies or whatever?
Well, we told a lot of things, but now we can't remember what we told during the cruise. So we should have done this at the beginning of the cruise.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, it's been fun.
It's been fun talking
A lot of
about
laughs.
A lot of laughs.
To our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, this is the Cousins Camp. We welcome you to have a Cousins Camp more often. We had Cousins Camp all the time,
Well,
every summer.
We
Every
were
summer.
always together. But your dad and my dad were the best buddies.
Out of, they have 9 brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Mom told me one time that when Dad and her got married, and I don't know, I think your mom and Dad got married close to the same time. I mean, it was maybe younger,
We got married in 37. Mom and Dad got married in 37.
but see, and I don't.
She wasn't pregnant for you? That's unbelievable.
No,
she
they didn't
wasn't.
fool
You know,
around.
you know how Mom, my Masterman met Harry Masterman. They're at a baseball game and Mom stole Dad's car, didn't know him. Her and her girlfriend took him for a drive and come back, and he was waiting for him to come back, and that's how they met. Mom told me that.
He had a car?
He had a car. Yeah,
A
Model
Model T.
Model A. I think it was Model A.
Don't
Had
we wish
a-
that now?
Had a rumble seat, right?
So evidently he left the keys in the car, or did
Oh,
you
yeah,
have to
well-
crank it?
Well,
Yeah, you
well,
can probably-
that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I'll do a little research on that. Yeah.
no, but it was a lot of fun time. Lots of fun.
Now, did they stand up in your mom and dad's wedding?
I don't know. Mom never.
Mom and Dad
I-
got married and went to Turkey Run. That's where they had spent their honeymoon down.
You know what? I doubt it. I remember Mom saying that when they got married, that Dad's sisters did not like it because all the boys catered to them. The boys were working and they would buy them things and stuff like that. So they didn't want them to ever get married because of the.
Well, I know I have a question. Do you ever remember your dad and my dad's mother? Did you ever?
No,
Did you ever meet her?
Did you ever meet her?
yeah, I have a picture of.
You and her?
No, I have a picture of her at her house one time.
We never, Jen and I don't think we ever met
Yeah,
her.
Did she live
I think
close
she.
to us?
I think I was like really young when she did. Yes, I remember going there. I think she lived with Del or Helen or
Right next door
something.
to Dell.
Right. Yes, I remember being there, and I remember, but I can't
Wonder
say.
why we never had her over.
I don't know.
I think
We
I
never
was-
had her
seems
dark.
like
Then
I
again,
was-
we didn't socialize with Dell a lot.
No, not at all.
Because
Till
because she
older.
didn't she didn't like your
Oh,
mom
that-
because of the guys getting married
Oh, that's
and
right. Okay, well, you didn't know that.
I mean that's what Mom always said that she
didn't
she
like-
was she never treated your mom and my mom, they never treated them good because they were mad that the guys got married
I'll be darned.
and
Because Del and Helen both lived in the area.
yes.
Yeah, Helen lived in North Liberty.
Well, I mean, close enough that,
Yeah.
but we never, I don't remember any.
I got the book from Helen's kids gave it to me of pictures of early.
Oh really?
I think Morris was his name. He had an airplane,
Yeah.
and flew.
They were married a
Right.
couple, each one of them I think were married a few times.
Oh, really?
And then Louis,
Okay, well that's going on to another
yeah, that's
category. So
we
anyway,
don't want that, but
here we are. We're gonna
Interesting.
say goodbye from where we at.
till we meet again.
Where we at?
We're in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico.
You got on the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah. So, sayonara. Or
Goodbye.
how do you say it in Spanish?
I don't know.
Let's don't get too
Just
technical.
goodbye.
So let's make sure it's still playing. It is 19 minutes and